What if I told you that one of the biggest reasons you're alive today is because your ancestors were willing to take risks that could have killed them? Imagine you're starving. You haven't eaten in days. Your stomach hurts. Your energy is fading. Then suddenly you spot a bright red berry growing on a bush. It looks delicious. But there's a problem. You've never seen it before. No one has. There are no books. No doctors. No internet. No warning labels. If you eat it, it might save your life. Or it might kill you. And once it's in your mouth, there's no undo button. This wasn't a rare situation. For most of human history, every meal came with uncertainty. Long before supermarkets existed, humans had to find food themselves. But finding food wasn't the hardest part. Knowing whether it was safe to eat was. The natural world is full of traps. Poisonous berries. Toxic mushrooms. Dangerous plants. Venomous animals. Some can make you sick for days. Others can kill within hours. Yet somehow humans didn't just survive. They spread across deserts, forests, mountains, frozen tundras, and nearly every continent on Earth. So how did they do it? How did humans figure out what was food and what was poison? The answer begins with a simple fact. Our ancestors didn't know. The first humans were born into a world filled with mystery. Every plant was unknown. Every fruit was a question mark. Every mushroom was a gamble. And sometimes the only way to learn was through experience. A dangerous amount of experience. Imagine a small tribe discovering a strange new plant. Someone eventually tries it. Maybe nothing happens. The plant becomes part of the tribe's diet. Maybe they get sick. The tribe learns to avoid it. Or maybe they never wake up again. Brutal as it sounds, many lessons were learned this way. Nature was the teacher. And the tuition fee could be your life. But humans had something special. Something that changed everything. The ability to share knowledge. Unlike most animals, humans can pass information from one generation to the next. A person who discovered a poisonous berry didn't have to let the lesson die with them. They could warn others. Their children learned. Their grandchildren learned. And eventually entire tribes learned. Over thousands of years, this created something incredibly powerful. A survival database. Not stored in books. Not stored on computers. Stored inside human memory. This knowledge was passed down through stories, observation, and experience. A child might hear a warning from their parents. Never eat those berries. Avoid that mushroom. Don't touch that plant. What began as one person's mistake eventually became tribal wisdom. But humans weren't only learning from each other. They were also learning from animals. Imagine watching a bird repeatedly eat a certain fruit, day after day. The bird remains healthy. That tells you something. Or perhaps you notice deer eating a particular plant every season. Humans paid attention. The natural world became a giant classroom. Of course, this wasn't foolproof. Some foods are safe for animals but dangerous for humans. Still, watching animals provided valuable clues. And sometimes those clues meant the difference between survival and starvation. Humans also evolved powerful senses to help them. Taste wasn't just about enjoyment. It was a survival tool. Sweet foods often contained valuable energy. Fruits rich in sugar were usually safe and nutritious. Bitterness, on the other hand, could signal danger. Many toxic plants contain bitter chemicals. Over thousands of generations, the human brain learned to treat bitterness as a warning sign. Every smell, every taste, every reaction, every meal became a lesson. Slowly, humans built an understanding of the natural world. But then something happened that changed human history forever. What humans discovered next didn't just change food. It may have changed the human brain itself. Humans discovered fire, and fire completely transformed food. Before cooking, many foods were difficult to eat. Some were dangerous. Others were impossible to digest. Certain roots contained toxins. Many plants were tough and bitter. Raw meat carried risks. But heat changed everything. Cooking destroyed many harmful substances. It made food softer, safer, and easier to digest. Suddenly, foods that were once useless became valuable sources of energy. The menu of humanity expanded, and the effects were enormous. Some scientists believe cooking helped humans develop larger brains. Think about that for a moment. A simple campfire may have changed the course of human evolution. More calories meant more energy. More energy meant larger brains. Larger brains meant better problem solving. And better problem solving meant finding even more food. It created a powerful cycle. A cycle that helped humans become the dominant species on Earth. But food knowledge wasn't discovered all at once. Eventually, humans became experts at reading their environment. They knew which fruits appeared during certain seasons, which animals migrated at specific times, which plants could heal, and which plants should never be touched. Food knowledge became one of humanity's most valuable survival tools. In many ways, it was just as important as shelter, just as important as weapons, just as important as fire itself. Because without food, nothing else mattered. Of course, mistakes still happened. Nature remained unpredictable. Even experienced tribes occasionally encountered unfamiliar foods. People got sick, some died. But compared to the first humans, later generations possessed an incredible advantage. Knowledge. Knowledge accumulated over hundreds of thousands of years. Today, most people never think about this. We walk into supermarkets, choose food from shelves, read ingredients, trust labels, and assume our food is safe. But for most of human history, every meal involved uncertainty. Every bite carried risk. Every decision mattered. Strangeberry growing in the wilderness and asked a simple question: is this food or is this poison? And that question may have been one of the most important questions humanity ever answered.